What's up, curious youngsters? After years and years of watching hundreds of documentaries, TV shows, and millions of images and videos on the internet, there are still things that always surprise us. Maybe it's because there are more than 7 billion of us, and with immediate access to the internet, we can literally come across anything at any time. And even if you think you've seen it all, there are always new things. And that's what Señor Curiosity is here for. For all that and more, here are 20 things you'll see for the first time in your life. It's said that robots will gradually start replacing humans in some tasks. And the truth is, some prototypes are already quite advanced. For example, the one we see in these images from the company Boston Dynamics. This model, called Atlas, is perfecting its movements and skills in a special area of the company designed for practicing parkour. As we see in the video, this area has all kinds of obstacles and challenges for the robots to practice and incorporate new movements, which is really intimidating. Don't worry about the Boston Dynamics robots. When our car isn't very clean, we have to wash it, at least on the outside. But now, if you're a car enthusiast or you really like to keep your car clean, then maybe you should clean it this way. In this case, we're seeing Tito, a specialist who takes care of cleaning the best cars in London in a very satisfying way. After spraying some soap with his gun and rinsing everything off, he uses this bright yellow soap to remove all the dirt. Then he finishes his work by hand, making the car as clean as if it had just come out of the dealership. It's hard to imagine what an astronaut's routine is like in space because everyday things can become complicated due to the lack of gravity. To give us a glimpse of his daily life, this French astronaut shared this video of his room in space. As we can see, the spaces are quite small and everything is secured so it doesn't get lost floating around. Even his own bed. Even though it sounds incredible, when he sleeps, he must do so vertically inside a sleeping bag attached to the wall. Most of the time, we don't pay attention to the growth of plants, but these organisms are constantly moving, and we can see a good example of that in this amazing time-lapse. What we're seeing is the recording of the complete growth of a plant, known as dragon fruit or pitaya, from when it's a tiny seed. Over the course of 100 days, the plant germinates and grows until it becomes a cactus, taking on its adult appearance. One of the largest snakes that exist are pythons. But as we will see next, even though they end up being enormous, in their first moments of life they fit perfectly in a hand. In this video, an expert breeder of this variety of snakes shows us a special room where he incubates dozens of eggs from these reptiles. This place has the ideal conditions for the little ones to grow, and once the time comes, the breeder helps them out of their eggs with his own hands, just as these impressive, yes, cue the shocked owl, let's go. We know that despite their small size, GoPro cameras record amazing videos, and that feature is a big advantage since they can reach places where we wouldn't be able to go. And we'll see an excellent example of this in the following footage recorded by 2 explorers from the United States. These men were walking in the middle of the forest when they noticed a curious enclosed tube that was only 7 centimeters in diameter. And as we can see, they didn't want to be left wondering, so they decided to tie their GoPro and lower it down the tube, getting this impressive footage. And since this made them quite curious, after doing some research, they found out that the bottom of the well was connected to an abandoned mine. If you thought that scientific experiments are only done in a lab and aren't very exciting, you should watch this video. These images show us a very unique outdoor physics class, since the teacher decided to give a practical demonstration of how atmospheric pressure works with all his students. For that, he placed a huge 200-liter metal barrel filled with boiling water with the goal of turning the water into vapor, then sealing the barrel and suddenly cooling the steam. Thus, this impressive final effect occurs as the drastic pressure change caused the barrel to fully collapse. Great. The subway is the fastest means of transportation for getting around in big cities, thanks to its network of underground tunnels that bypass traffic. And if you were wondering how those gigantic neighborhoods are built, what if I told you that these YouTubers managed to get inside an old tunnel boring machine which today is abandoned, but it's incredible because it was used to dig one of the longest subway lines in all of Europe. It resembles a mine, not just due to the intense heat, but also because of the confined space and limited air, requiring an oxygen supply for those who need it. Drones have become the perfect complement for people who want to record footage. In the next video, we'll see an amazing recording from one of these devices, but it happened almost by chance. What we're seeing is a drone that was running out of battery, but it kept recording everything as it fell to the ground. So when its owner realized it was losing altitude and was about to sink into the water, he didn't hesitate to go rescue it. Almost like in an action movie, he started running and managed to get there just in time while the camera kept recording. That was close, man. Animals use camouflage to appear bigger or more threatening and avoid being hunted.
En el siguiente video veremos una especie de cangrejo que se volvió un experto en lograr disfrazarse. Hablamos del cangrejo decorador.
And as we can see,
Utiliza pedazos de alga, caracoles y esponjas que encuentra en el mar.
To appear more frightening than this little one does.
Y es de los pocos que utiliza distintos materiales que encuentra en su entorno para... Cuando vemos una polilla, puede...
It may not seem like a very beautiful creature to us, but if we look at it closely, we will surely change our minds. In the following video, we have a good demonstration of this, where different species of moths appear flying in slow motion. Thanks to the zoom, we can appreciate in detail the design of their wings and the striking fur they have. As we can see, these colorful creatures fly in a very satisfying way and also have a very cute appearance. If escaping from the jaws of a crocodile is difficult, escaping from two crocodiles is practically impossible, unless you have the agility of this duck who apparently was a bit distracted. As we can see, this bird was walking dangerously close to these reptiles and, maybe without realizing they were there, literally walked right over them. Though the crocodiles quickly went into hunting mode, the duck managed to dodge them and safely returned the way it came. We know that many domestic animals like dogs or cats can learn to do different tricks. But have you ever seen anything like this? This reptile, which lives in a house in Florida in the United States, learned to react in this funny way if its owner touches it with a finger. As we can see, the snake seems to faint and pretends to be dead for a few seconds. Luckily, this species of reptile from the Colubridae family is completely harmless and is known as the hognose snake. If we travel to the African savanna, we can go on amazing safaris to see wild animals in their natural habitat. Although if we get too close, this can become quite dangerous, as we will see next. These images are of a group of tourists, including a couple on their honeymoon, when the woman was watching a group of gorillas to photograph them and was suddenly attacked by one of them. As we can see, the animal pushed her hard to the ground, and although it didn't seem very happy with the human presence, luckily it went on its way and no one was hurt. Stay away from the gorillas, Timmy. Have you ever seen a jellyfish in the sea? There are a lot of these organisms in all the oceans of the world, and although it's very common to encounter these creatures in their adult stage, when they're born, they're so tiny that we can barely distinguish them in the water. But thanks to a man who breeds them in Australia, we can observe them up close. In these amazing images he recorded at his jellyfish farm, we can see that they really are small, and even though they can be a bit threatening when they grow up, they look quite cute while they're babies. What's up with jellyfish? It's explained in seconds with an example in the next video. In these images, we see a man in his garage waiting for something or someone. Time passes without anything happening until he finally leaves the view of the security camera. And at that exact moment, the roof of the building collapses where he had been standing just moments before, destroying all the cars. Fortunately, the man escaped the collapse without any injuries because he left a second before the structure collapsed. We know that dogs can repeat some tricks, although only a few become true experts at it, like the border collie dog we'll see in the following video. Her name is Salsa, and together with her trainer, she learned to do different dance steps. As we can see in this cute video, Salsa can follow different steps perfectly, and even dares to jump and spin to create a unique choreography. Usually when we think of a sculpture, we imagine something static, but the artist Theo Jansen shows us that this is not always the case.
Como vemos en el video, este ingeniero creó unas fascinantes esculturas cinéticas.
They move along the beach by harnessing the power of the wind. These enormous works of art, shaped like strange animals called beach beasts, were made from recycled materials, and as we can see, offer an amazing spectacle on the shores of The Hague. Well done, Theo. We know that in nature, not everything is as it seems, and in the following video we have a perfect example. This strange creature reminds us of a striking blue tentacled jellyfish. But even though they look very similar and are often confused, what we're actually seeing are several organisms together, because what appears to be tentacles is actually a colony of hydroids, or more precisely, a hydra. They are known as blue buttons, and just like jellyfish, which are their relatives, they live in all the seas of the world. Few things are more relaxing than a yoga class on the beach, although, as we will see next, this is not always the case. In this video, we see a famous instructor doing a yoga routine for her videos in a quiet coastal area with many wild animals.
Nuestra instructora no tuvo en cuenta que estaba demasiado cerca.
She was watching carefully. When she looked the other way, the animal completely took her by surprise and attacked her by biting her. However, it seems that fortunately it was just a scare, since the iguana wasn't really aggressive and just wanted to play.